Good morning and welcome to day 5, the last day of our Great Escape VBS. And today we're talking about Elijah, who had a great victory at Mount Carmel over the false prophets of the Baals. But right after he had that great victory, Queen Jezebel threatened to kill him. And so Elijah decided he needed to run and hide, even though God had just demonstrated his power. Elijah was still experiencing fear of the queen. And so he ran not only all the way out of the northern kingdom of Israel, he ran all the way through the southern kingdom of Judah. He went all the way to the Arabian Peninsula to where Mount Sinai was located. So as a family activity, I went to a local craft store just yesterday, and it wasn't expensive. The sticker says $5.99 for this volcano kit, a real science experiment. And what's included in here is the volcanic mold. That's what we've got here. And plaster powder, 6.7 ounces, citric acid, baking soda, a paintbrush, a stirring stick, and several different kinds of paints so that you can paint your volcano either white, black, green, blue, yellow, and red. And so it shows on the back of it the different paints and the different mold, and it has the baking soda and stuff that you would put inside of this mold to make an at-home volcano. A good thing to do in the summer, particularly if it's a rainy type of day, to where you'll make your own volcano. And of course we know what the baking soda will do. When you put the baking soda in there and you pour some liquid on it, the baking soda is going to bubble up and it's going to make it look like a volcano erupting. Elijah went all the way to Mount Sinai, and we know that Mount Sinai, when Moses carried the children of Israel there during the Exodus experience, the people saw the fire and the smoke on the mountain. And they were afraid because Moses was gone for 40 days. Well, Elijah, when he ran all the way to Mount Sinai, he was afraid of Queen Jezebel, even though he had just seen God use fire to prove his power, because Elijah's altar had been soaked with water. What happens when you soak something with water and then you try to burn it? If you've ever had a campfire and you've doused it with water, and then you try to relight the campfire, it's not going to do it because the wood is too wet. Elijah had already seen God's power over nature. Elijah knew that God was with him. But sometimes, even when we know God and we trust God, we still have some fear. So Elijah ran to the mountain of God. And while he was down there, God revealed to him, Elijah, you don't need to be here. He sees an angel. He's fed by birds. He finds the strength to go back home and not be afraid of Jezebel anymore. And as you're living your life, and as you're teaching your kids in this VBS week about how they can trust God in all kinds of circumstances, spending a few minutes playing with them by helping them create a volcano that they're going to want to play with over and over again, and talking about how sometimes even things that scare us, a volcano erupting would certainly be a scary thing for anybody to witness in person, but how we can trust God even when things are very uncertain, to know that God is always with us. The Great Escape has been all week long about God showing his people, I'm with you no matter what. When they were spared from the death angel entering their homes, when Rahab was kind to the spies, when God protected them, when the walls of Jericho fell down, when God protected Gideon and his men who had trumpets and clay jars and torches to surround an army that was much bigger than theirs, when God protected David and now God's protecting Elijah, every one of us can know that no matter what happens in your life, whether you're scared, whether you're uncertain, whether you're facing danger, that you can count on God no matter what. Thanks for watching.